Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Rita's Book Club. Since this month is Pride Month, I decided to share reviews of books with LGBTQ plus main characters and just spread the love around. So this week I'm talking about Icebreaker by A.L. Graziadei. My friend Lupe mentioned this book a few weeks ago, and I curiously had it already on my books to read list because I found it on Goodreads. So I decided to read it, and I was so excited because it's about two hockey players fighting to be the best. This book follows the story of 17 years old Mickey James III. He's a college freshman, a brother who had to five sisters, and a hockey legacy, with a father and a grandfather who have gone down in NHL history. Mickey is almost guaranteed the league's top draft spot. The only person that seems to be standing in his way is Jason Caulfield, a contender for the number one spot, and Mickey's infuriating and very attractive teammate. When their rivalry turns into something more, Mickey will have to decide what he really wants and what he is willing to risk. In the end, this is a story about falling in love, finding your team on and off the ice, and choosing your own path. I actually absolutely loved this book. It was so sweet, but also super intense and a bit dark sometimes, and it's a great way to start a writing career for this author. I love books where sports are also a character, but I never read one with ice hockey. I don't know a thing about ice hockey and how it's played, the rules, but I was obsessed with it by the end of the book. I think it was the character's passion for it that made the parts with the sport more interesting. Also, the fact that it was such a big part of the plot. It really was an amazing crutch to help the main characters along their journey and development. They developed as human beings, but also as players, especially Mickey. He was already an amazing player, but getting to be around his teammates really helped his game and his own personal struggles. He was such a complex character since he was also suffering from depression that he had so many layers, and it really was something else to see him grow up in just a few months of the set timeline, not only as a human being, but also as a player with a team that he loved. I love to see how he let the people in his life be in his life apart from his family. Not only his romantic relationship with Jason, but also the friendships he made along the way. He was super closed off and he didn't let people inside his own circle. So it was very fascinating to read the realization he had that he needed those around him, that people could help him feel better and help him in life. I also really loved how he was able to resolve his issues with his own family. We knew since the beginning that he was pretty close with his five sisters, even though he didn't grow up with them 24/7, or they had a huge gap in terms of age. But I really loved how all of them were super protective and supportive of him. Especially when he came out to them. It was a beautiful scene. And I guess that my favorite part was actually when he stood up to his dad. I think Mickey became so much lighter when he said what he had to say to his dad after so many years. And it really helped him mend that relationship and see a new side of his dad. And his own father could see a new son there, to get to know, the opportunity to get to know his son. Then, of course, Mickey and Jason, that hate-love relationship was absolutely gorgeous and so satisfying to read. I love angst, and the author did a beautiful work in creating their relationship. I'm still super obsessed with sharing good and bad things about each other scene they had, because there was a click. Both of them needed to see the other in a new light. From there began a tensive friendship, And I think it was so beautiful that by the end of the story, they were both each other's biggest supporter. Their connection could survive everything, even the NHL and the top draft spot. I just need to say something about the depression side of this book. It was so important to read it since now more than ever, a lot of athletes are speaking up about mental health issues in sports. So we definitely need this representation for so many young kids and even teenagers and even adults that play sports and don't feel safe to share their problems. It was really important that it wasn't just Mickey that felt it, because that way he was also able to get the people he needed to, and other people to relate to. I know the author has been asked have been asked a lot about a possible second book to this one, and the author answer has been for now that it won't happen. But I just have to say that I would absolutely love to read the next one, because Mickey and Jason were so interesting and complex, and I'm very curious. I would be very curious to know more about their journey together. As always, if you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and like to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Rita's Book Club for more content. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Happy readings!